headed to South Carolina, doing some measurements for some doors. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on that road again. Let's hit it. Okay, so we've got our measurements. Let's head back to the fort and get with purchasing and order some doors.
The 4th of July cookout on the 3rd of July. Getting some sausages, some burgers on the grill. We're gonna have our team kind of drop by throughout the morning for lunch and grab some food and go.
Today we're adding a single door to an already existing access system, cutting in a Hess 5200 strike. Finished product here.
So Lucas and I were just sitting here. Today is Tuesday, July 3rd, which is the day before July 4th. July 4th, we're closed as an office and as a business on July 4th in celebration of Independence Day. So we were just talking about how it kind of, the week is weird because, you know, you kind of get in a rhythm every week. Monday we do certain things, Tuesday we do certain things, Wednesday for us is a really big day for our team meetings and so forth. So everything kind of has its place, and having a day off in the middle of the week just kind of disrupts that routine.
Messes up the flow. There's a momentum you get kind of through the week.
Yeah.
And so, you know, maybe Monday you are planning or starting a project, and then Tuesday you're kind of really getting into the groove of it, and you just feel focused, and not just on a day-to-day basis, but looking at it at a week-long thing. You kind of are diving into a project, and you don't want to come up for air prematurely because then you'll have to dive down again.
Yeah.
So if you're going down, and you know Wednesday is your busiest time, typically Wednesday when everything's very chaotic and lots of stuff going on and decisions being made, is actually a day off.
Yeah.
Then it's just different. So
Yeah.
it's a good week for busy work and for planning.
The 4th of July week, I know in the South, and I don't know if it's this way across the rest of the country, but it's traditionally a kind of a vacation week for a lot of people. And so it's also a very slow, like the phones are slower, emails are slower, and so forth.
So traffic is not nearly as bad as it usually is.
So you've been working on some big stuff with our Track Via platform, our work order management system. What's some of the new stuff that's been happening, that maybe some new features or something that would make sense to share?
Well, a lot of the recent updates I've been working on involve kind of back-end processes. So trying to take away things that normally would have to be done manually and automating them. Turns out that one of the things that I need to automate is the stuff that I do as well. Currently now I am working on a new QBO integration, and QBO is QuickBooks Online, which will essentially basically never throw errors, and therefore I'll never have to respond to emails, and I can spend more time developing even more new things that will throw new errors that will need to be fixed down the road.
But we're talking about automating events, and a lot of people, it was funny because the conversation was like talking about turning a lot of jobs into robots, and you know, which is a common conversation around here, that Lucas is turning everybody's jobs into robots. But what it ultimately comes down to is that you're creating efficiency so that the kind of tasks repetitive tasks that somebody's having to do manually is automated so that they have more time to do other things that need that focus.
Correct. So a lot of tasks that are being automated are things that people do on a day-to-day, but there's also a lot of things that we can automate that maybe we would have never done in the first place.
Yeah.
So, you know, our customer updates, for instance, you know, we weren't updating customers every time our site visit status was changing, but we were able to automate that. So we kind of,
because that would have been a full-time job for somebody to do that if they were doing it manually.
So it's not just the speeding up current processes, but kind of adding processes that historically are kind of in the automation category. So a lot of customer service related things and easily.
Well, the other part of that too that's interesting is it really also turns into things that can be done consistently.
Yes.
Right. So when you know you have that human error variable, one of the other neat things, and it made me think about it when you just said automation helps us to be able to do some things that maybe we wouldn't do otherwise. One of the things that we've never had the ability to do before was track our specific time for response, and that's
very cool.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that just over the last week or so we've been able to, you know, kind of take the information that was already there and just tweak it in a different way to show that information.
It's worth mentioning kind of the collection of data. You know, you have this system where you input tons of data, and you may not exactly know what you're going to do with that data until you already have a bunch of it. Mm-hmm. So you say, okay, I want to keep track of these dates between these things here, and over time you just kind of had this big pile of data building up, and then once you get to a certain point where, you know, the data is good and it's not full of bugs or loopholes or anything like that, then you can go in and say, well, what type of things can we glean from this data? You know, for instance, response time or time in purchasing and things like this. But the collection of the data, you know, shouldn't be a process that the business is doing. It should be a byproduct of our day-to-day processes. So people just go around doing their jobs, and this data builds up over time.
Really enjoyed the cookout today, kind of having the opportunity to, and it's very similar to that of our annual family picnic. It's just an opportunity to kind of prepare and serve our team and just kind of spend a little bit of time in a more casual atmosphere. Plus, we really like food, so you can't really, you know, that's never a bad thing. The rest of the day was very, very slow around here, but we're going to try to take full advantage of it on Thursday and Friday. In the meantime, we're going to be closed on Wednesday for business. We'll be open for emergencies as normal. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you on Thursday.